Is this just fantasy? Well, no. It is the return of Conan the Barbarian. So here we have, I got the Dan Panosian cover, but this is issue one of the new series by Heroic and Titan Comics. So what I came to learn is that this Conan has returned to the control of the uh, handlers of the Robert E. Howard estate. So basically, this is back in the hands of the people who are in charge of, keeping the the name of Robert E. Howard alive and handling the adaptations of his works. And so that's what we have in front of us here is basically this is what they want to put out. So this is, quote unquote authentic to the vision of the creator of the character Robert E. Howard. And you know, let's see what they have to say about what they want to do with the character of Conan. Having already read this, I feel like I'm mostly pleased with it. I'm actually, yeah, I'm pleased. I think it's great. I think at least when it comes to how it handles it visually, and I think it's very promising where it's going to be headed in the future. I really wanted that Mike Mignola cover, but no place nearby that had comics had that cover, or had it left at least. So I went with the next cover that I wanted, which is this one, the Dan Panosian cover. That's somebody who I think he's going to be working on the Savage Sword book, but who knows? Maybe he's just doing covers, or maybe he'll do a story or two. That'd be great. This cover is really nice. I get a little John Romita Jr. vibes from. Not sure if it's the line work or just how the figure's rendered, but yeah, I just get that feeling from it. Yeah, little John Romita Jr. Anyway, let's get into it. Um, and yeah, we got. All right, we got to start off pointing out. We got our map again. Got our quote from the Median Chronicles here. I wonder if that's just at the head of every single Conan book. Is it every single one? Is it most of them? You can't get away from it. And Red Sonja also has a very similar setup. One difference with this map, well, one, the map looks really nice. It's a really nice rendering of the map. And it also has a little circle of where we are in the map, which I think is helpful, especially, when trying to feel immersed in the world. It also lets us know, like, this takes place after the, I guess, Free Comic Book Day book. Specifically this one that I already talked about. So yeah, there's like he fought some guys and then he got a helmet and now he's moving on. So that's basically the story thus far. Right away, I've said before that I think depicting the natural world well is important for fantasy. I'll get into why I think it's so important, and where I think it comes from. But yeah, just you're not going to hear too many complaints from me about the art of this issue, just because Rob De La Torre or De La Torre is just he's great. He's a really great draftsman, and he's also there's just such a nice kind of natural warmth and even grittiness to his line work and his inking especially. Just I love the design of this building. It feels kind of cobbled together, and I think that's an important feature of depicting in ancient times is not necessarily that everything feels this way, but like there is some hands handmade stuff in the work. Well, I keep saying hands. But yeah, we got a bar fight starting us off, and right away I feel like I just have to note the elephant in the room here. Not necessarily, but like, all right, that's what we can expect in this Conan is topless women. But are we going to see our man Conan hang dong? Because I, for one, would be a fan of that. I'm all for equality when it comes to that. I'm an anti-Puritan. Fuck that shit. Anyway, just yeah, real nice pose, real nice, punch. It's I think there's an unwritten rule in comics that when you're showing a fight, you show just before or just after contact, because it's just more exciting. Although here we see the point of contact, and it's actually pretty great too. What a great, great body language, and yeah, great costuming all around on these characters. I don't want to get too deep into the story, but it's clearly like Conan's having a disagreement with this guy, and he's moving on. What I will say about the depiction of the character of Conan is that it does feel very much akin to the John Buscema era, like Roy Thomas written stuff, where he's a character who has honor. He's not, he's a barbarian when it comes to fighting, but as far as his personality, just as a little insight, I don't know if you stopped and read this or not, but he is having a fight with his commander of his little company here because this guy's orders resulted in the unnecessary death of some of the men they were fighting with, and Conan is not happy about it. And he thinks it's dishonorable to lead men to their death, and this guy doesn't give a shit. And so I like that. I like that we have a Conan with a conscience, because again, it's very easy to think Conan the Barbarian, he doesn't care about anyone. He's heartless. He's whatever. But no, like he's a figure with honor, and I think that's an important distinction for him. But yeah, I think I love these little pops of color here. I just think that's awesome. Also, we're not afraid to show some blood, and yeah, I gotta say, like, this feels like visually like a comic from the 70s, at least the line work, but the coloring is it's modern stuff. It's modern coloring, but it's also not. It's not trying to do too much that the ink work isn't already doing. They're throwing little highlights on things, just to get some things to pop out. I love the color distinction from like here to here, because we know that this is the focal point, but this still is happening. But yeah, the coloring is not overshadowing the figure work, because I feel like the worst thing that could have happened as far as color is if they decided to try to color it like they color the modern repackagings of like old books like this, or like or old books like the original Conan. Is they will just kind of go ham on it and just put way too much as far as like extra lighting, and just try to get super naturalistic with the colors, and it ends up not being distinct. Because like here, I love these little pops of purple and this like teal right here. It's really nice. Also, and it's a small detail, I like that she has an eye patch. I think that's just, it's a little extra thing. I don't even know if it's something that necessarily John Buscema would have done, but I just really love that. Yeah, we have this woman who works at this tavern, or this inn that sell that that's she's got an eye patch. But yeah, and then we get kind of like a flashback to Conan's early days. So this is definitely setting the stage for what's to come, and kind of just catching everybody up on who Conan is and the kind of character he is, and yeah, just a great little battle scene right here. And nice that goes across the median. Nice horse. Love the castle in the back, but also I just love these little scratchy texture bits, and some of them are figures, but some of it's just like filling the background, and that's great because it's you don't want it to distract, all, like, you don't want to put too much detail in the background when you really want people to focus on the drama of like the battle happening here. And I also love the good use of color that has us looking at Conan here as our focal point, because there's lots of figures, lots of stuff happening, but we see like the key elements that are pointed to in the writing, and the writers, I think he's doing a good job. I think there's a great the mood setting that happens with these captions, which I think is necessary, to just add some flavor text to it. But yeah, love this like splash of like orange and blue here. It's just really nice on that page. But yeah, just all around, I feel like this is a great start to our new Conan series. And we're about to get our first like big turn into what the storyline's going to be. They love giving him. I will note that I think on the first book, when I say he picked up his helmet, it was like, Conan's Marvel helmet, but this is 100% the Arnold Schwarzenegger helmet right here. That's what that is. Because they love the Schwarzenegger movie, because it's great. But here we have a new, or I'd say, at least to me, a new character, that she is part of the Picts, that as like a particular group of people in the era that we're in. And I love just, the splashes of blue in there that make her distinct. Also, this like texture back here behind her, I really like that. There's something, it looks analog, at least, even if it isn't. So I'm not sure if digital inks are, if Rob De La Torre works digitally or traditionally. Probably both, or at least some semblance of both. But in either case, it looks nice. But yeah, she's coming here to warn them, and we get this big, a keening wail, and everybody's upset, scared, and then we get these guys. So, welcome to this ancient world that's got zombies in it. Apparently, they clearly look like running zombies. They don't use the word zombies, of course, because I don't know, people just are sheepish about using the word zombies anymore. That seems like they say the undead or whatever. I don't even know if they use that in this, but I really love this panel. This splash page. It's a really good use of splash. Love this pink sky. I love like the little watercolor smudges in there. That looks really nice. Great job, colorist, especially on this page. It's really nice. And yeah, just great composition or focal point here. Great reveal. And like, it's interesting because like everybody else is kind of not facing us, but this face right here next to the text here makes sure you know what their nature is, which is, I think, important. And we get a real nice set of battles here, but the things, they seem semi-intelligent because they're wielding weapons. This thing, loses its head, but the head still attacks, so I guess it's what? Return of the Living Dead rules. You know, every part of them is still alive. You got to burn them to get rid of them. I don't know. But yeah, it seems like a appropriately deadly enemy to deal with. Um, you know, we're showing our new character here is a great, you know, fellow fighter to go along with Conan. And there's a great moment here where they're fighting. Well, when this little sequence is great. Just, you know, boom, 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 you know, and then here he's you know, he's having a quick moment of respite, and then she whoosh, saves them, and that's just a great panel. I love how it comes out of the panel there. Great body language on both of them, and yeah, just great colors and everything. But there's this great moment where like Conan can leave, but then she's getting overwhelmed here, and she came to warn everybody that these guys were coming, and so he risks getting killed to save her because it's the right thing to do. So again, like an honorable Conan. So I'm really happy with that choice. Yeah, and we have a great. We have our new, you know, character, companion character to join with them, and where is her name? Because I keep Brissa. Brissa of the Gurian tribe. So I don't know if that's a character. I think it might be just a brand new character, frankly, to the world of Conan. But I like her look. I love the you know, the blue kind of like war paint, and then with corresponding like her top is blue as well. Just yeah, and like her big spear. Yeah, like real great face, real great expression there. But yeah, like it's a nice strong start to this new series, but you know, it leaves, you know, it sets us up for a very dire circumstances. So one of the things that I would say about this is like great start. It is one, but one of the things I will say that like can be fatiguing is if like every storyline is the world is going to end unless we do something, which that's great for stakes, like the stakes can't be higher there, but I just hope that not every storyline in this new series is going to have stakes like that, because that seems to be what the stakes are here. It's like if they don't find a way to stop these undead, the whole world is at risk. And you know, I'm willing to follow this story where it goes. I hope it continues, you know, on as well as it started. But one of the things I really love about Conan is that he's the kind of character that you can just tell a random little story where the stakes are small. The stakes is one life is at risk, and it's not even Conan's, but like he has to deal with it. Like that stuff is where I think some really delicate and nice storytelling can be done. But ultimately, I think that this is a great start. I just want to point out here, I just love the simplification of the figures back here. Like just enough information. You know, it's like we clearly know that's Conan, and we see all these others, and we see like swords and stuff like that, but we don't need too much detail there because this is the focal point. Great stuff. But yeah, definitely recommend Conan the Barbarian. I think Rob De La Torre is a new kind of modern master when it comes to fantasy comics. If you like what I do and you want to support me, you can get my comics. Sidequesters is my fantasy book. It's the project that I have put the most heart and soul into, and I just really love how it's turned out. I have 8 issues of it out for now. And it is a fantasy story about a noble warrior who has to work with and eventually become best friends with a giant lizard man. And It's got comedy, adventure. It is the kind of fantasy story that I would want to read. And you can buy the single volume or the individual issues, or you can just read them on Global Comics. But yeah, if this is something you're into, if it appeals to you, please check it out. I also have my Haxan short story collections. These are related to Sidequesters. These are set in the same universe, and they deal with magic users in that universe. And the first set collection here is in black and white. And it's kind of dark tales of magic users. And then the other, and this is much the same, although not as dark. Well, actually, pretty dark. But yeah, they are 60 pages each. This one has 4 stories in it. This one has 3. And they are available for purchase. And you can also read the short stories on Global Comics. If superheroes is your vibe, then I would recommend my book 3-Panel Origin, which is a comedy book that is akin to The Tick, where I create a character and tell their origin in 3 panels. And it's a web comic, so you can find it over on Instagram at 3-Panel Origin. But this is a collection of the first 3 years of stories. And so it's a nice reissued artwork. Like, I went and remastered all of it. So it looks even better in print than it does online, frankly. Has some extra matter in the back about like character creation and stuff like that, just like where I come up with some of my ideas. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I'm really proud of it. So like, you can get this book for yourself. And also related to it is 3PO Comics, which is a set of like short stories in the same world. It's using my ridiculous characters, and I'm also in it pimping my other work here. But yeah, I'm really proud of this, and I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's silly. I put in a bunch of fake ads and stuff in here, and a bunch of fake ads on the back, which I love. But yeah, these are both available for purchase on my website.